And sometimes you have to put your ego in the back seat. He can still be in the car, but he's got to be in the back seat, and you got to let somebody else sit shotgun for a little bit. So making sure that we don't let the glory of the past and the things that we did before and what was awesome dictate how we moving forward. It can be a good guide, but you got to be careful. You see this. You guys are in the social media sphere as well. I see this with things that a post 6 months ago that was lightning, it like hits flat, a couple months later, and you're like, oh, I got to adjust. I got to be willing to ask questions and make adjustments, right?
Yeah. I think that, what's it called? I like all that you're saying. I'm so in agreement with you, Cory, though. I think that a lot of things adapting, and you just touched on coaching. I actually just joined a really good coaching program for loans, and it's actually leveled up my business in a pretty great way, right?
Love that.
And I told Roy, I was like, dude, like, I'm never going to give this up. Like, it's one of the things, one of the investments that I'm always going to make in my business, because I'm like, I didn't realize the impact that it would really have on me. And I love it. Roy's a constant coach to me. Roy's always moving me forward and whatnot. And I'm always adapting to learn. And I think that's a big thing in this industry, is that people don't want to.
I was pointing at myself.
And then, yeah, people are always very much focused on the past glory days, and they continue to, you guys. Oh my gosh. But yeah, back to what I'm saying, like, it's sales. Is and one of the things that I loved about this industry is that I would say I am a salesperson. I very much go there, but sales isn't so much like, hey, let me overcome your objections. I don't think that objections are there. I think that there's some objections to people buying a house because you're making a huge purchase. Hey, this house, we live in Miami, right? Miami is one of the, not, I wouldn't say overpriced, it's a higher priced market, right? I think it's like top 3 in the actual United States of, medium price homes. So every time somebody's trying to buy a home here, they're like, oh, dude, my monthly payment's super high. And I'm like, it is what it is. Like, you're not going to go out there and find something cheaper. If you want another option, you got to consider maybe relocating, maybe doing something, other things. But, we're not pushing a high payment on you, but that's the reality of things, right? So it's about now understanding that situation with them. And one of the biggest things that I've been able to understand is just listening, asking questions, not forcing somebody to buy a home when I don't feel comfortable, because I get a gut feeling and I'm like, oh, dude, I don't think that this person can make this payment affordable. But the commission check is like, oh, it's huge. So everybody's always pushing, make the sale, especially coming from a Hispanic background. I'm Hispanic. Most of them come to me and they're just trying to do the American dream. So about finding a way to bring that all together and help them in a way that is beneficial towards them by bringing more people in on the loan that they're going to live together, right? Maybe they have an 18-year-old that can pitch in. That's the reality of these days. But it's not overcoming objections. It's really bringing together a solution and adding value, and still being able to help them get that home at the end of the day. And if they're not ready to buy right now, adjusting and saying, hey, you'll be ready in a year if you take these steps. And I'm going to be with you while you take these steps. And if you have any questions, regardless if we didn't transact today, we'll transact in a year or two. I'm still going to be here. I ain't going nowhere. So it's a really nice mindset to see somebody else have, especially in this industry.
Well, I was going to say that kudos to you, that's a beautiful mindset to have. And I get really re-energized in the industry when I see folks in any version of our industry that have that mindset, because it's difficult.